I'm glad you can join me in this journey to learn about big data analytics. The amount of data that is generated in the world is doubled every 2 years, and organizations are taking advantage of this huge amount of information and data that is produced to better analyze them and to create business insights for better competitive advantage. There are a lot of interesting facts about big data. But I know that you are not here to learn about these facts. You are here because you are interested to learn to actually perform big data analytics. My goal in those video series is to make the learning process easy. I'm going to take you from the easy to the more complicated, from the known to the unknown, and you do not necessarily need to have a programming background. It's good to have programming background. It's going to be much easier. However, even if you do not have programming skills, you should be able to follow me, and you will be able to explore big data analytics on your own. Big data technologies are a little bit different from the traditional technologies. We characterize big data by 3 V's. We have volume, the variety, the velocity of big data. We think that what makes big data really unique from the traditional data is those 3 V's. Okay? For example, the volume. Big data is in the size of terabytes and petabytes. Assume for a moment that big data is represented by the people in this stadium. Our processing task consists of checking the tickets of each person that enters the stadium. If there are only a few data processors, ticket processors, it will take a long time. However, if we can increase the number of ticket processors and distribute them throughout the stadium, so each of them can cover a small section, we can significantly reduce the time to check the tickets. For big data processing, we will use something called distributed data processing. How about the variety? Traditionally, we know about the structured data, right? That are generated by business transactions. But most of the data is unstructured. Data that comes from several sources that are listed in this side here. So we're going to learn how to process any file, no matter what the structure of the file is. We're going to learn about the concept called schema on read. In other words, we're going to have the file stored, no matter the structure, and then every time we want to analyze the data, we're going to create a structure. In terms of velocity, we're going to also use data streaming. So if the data comes and changes very fast, a data streaming application will be able to capture the data as they come and produce good business insight. In short, big data is different from traditional data. So during this series, we'll learn about some exciting new technologies, platforms, and algorithms that we can use to process big data and perform big data analytics. The Big Data Made Easy series is based on my book about big data. During the series, we'll learn about MapReduce. We'll learn about Pig and Pig Latin. We'll learn about Hive. We're also going to explore Scoop and how to move data from a structured database into the cluster. We're going to learn about NoSQL databases and implement those concepts using HBase. Spark is a very powerful data processing engine for big data, and we're going to learn how to use data frames and data sets to process big data, structured or unstructured. The series will be closed with building applications with Spark and creating applications that can perform iterative processing and data streaming. If you're interested, go ahead and subscribe. In the next video, I'll show you how to set up the computing environment. So we have everything in place to start big data processing. If you want to learn more about big data analytics, subscribe to this channel. Also, follow me on Twitter at Professor Benny or join my LinkedIn network. You can always email me with any questions.